Alrighty. Okay, we're getting back to it. Let me see here. Are we
Give
good?
me a little link so I can send a. Is it a new link or will the old one work?
I think it's a new one. Let me hold up. I should be able to get you here. All right. I apologize about that, man. I don't know what in the world happened. I've never had that. I have literally never had that in 4 years of having a computer. I have never had that issue happen to me, man. I've literally never had that issue happen to me, man. That was so freaking bizarre. That was very bizarre. That was very strange. Literally, it was trying to tell me that my memory was on a whole PC was maxed out, and I'm like, dog, you're crazy. I have 900 gigabytes that I haven't used. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean, bro? I'm like, what do you
Yeah, they
mean, bro?
tripping.
Yeah. So that was very, very, very strange. But we're back at it, man. We're back at it. Okay. So we're gonna get back into this. Here we go. All right.
Back at it with
So
another one.
yes, sir. We are back at it, my man. We are back at it. Okay. Let me. There you go. I bet. Let me pull this up here. Cool. Got you like that. Boom. Got you back on there. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Where oh there it is. Okay, cool. Alright. So let's let's get back to this.
Yes, sir.
Yo. Let's get back into this, man. First, again, I want to say thank you very much again for taking the time to be on the podcast, man. I massively freaking
Of course.
appreciate that. Seriously. And yo, so Wolfpack, when we were fixing that, okay, when we were fixing that and we're getting geared up to run it back, okay, after the crash, I got to hear some of the inspiration, man. I got to hear some of the inspiration and hot damn the lyrics, bro, the meaning behind it, the fact that there, oh, dude, the message behind
Bro,
it, man, was incredible.
Joey is the truth. Like I think he said he went from Porsches or porches of Porsches to live in Porsches of fortune or something. And like I think it was in a unorthodox. I think is the song. Just Joey is so good, bro. He's so good. And then in the song that I was referencing, he said, "Pride is higher than the prices on your Pradas and Balenciagas."
Yeah, that's
I
a
was like,
that's a that's a bar,
before I
dude.
even knew what that meant, that shit was hard to me. I was just
Yeah,
like, damn.
that's a bar, bro. What was on purpose, Raz? What happened? Eternal says we return. Yes, sir. We returning. Oh yeah, you know we
Back in
returning,
the
baby.
flesh.
You know we freaking returning, baby. Alrighty, man. Okay, so let me see here. So basically, we were the last thing we were talking about. The last thing we were talking about was the inspiration for that song. Okay, we were talking about that. We were talking about some lyrics. All right. So let me see here. Yeah. So I said, what was it about rap music that interested you? And then that's what you said. Okay. So that song, the lyrics behind it, and how impactful the message was. The fact that it wasn't like you said, I got cars and I'm smoking and I'm this, like, it was actually, you had an actual message behind it,
There was
and it
so
was,
much flex in there too, but it's just like I didn't realize that you could flex with substance.
yeah,
That was what caught me. I was just like, I never had that outlook. And it's just like, yeah, and that's crazy to me because I listen to listen to 50, like a lot of 50. But it's just like I heard all kinds of different stuff, but it's just like I don't know. I never picked up on that substance and the flex until I started listening to Pro Era. Just
yeah.
anybody off of Pro Era, the whole team goaded.
I love that. I love that, man. Alrighty. So we've been talking about gaming. We've been talking about gaming as well, man. So has gaming influenced any of your songs, and if so, how?
Oh man. Yeah, actually. My homie C minor, he's featured on my project. He's like my best friend. He's like my rap duo. He taught me music theory. That dude's a goat. Um, this guy, he wrote some bars on a new song that I'm not gonna get too much into because you'll see soon.
We're gonna see the
But
new album, yes, sir.
he basically said he said something along the lines, but you ain't but that ain't down. Like, but you ain't down. I should hit him with Hadouken. And anybody that plays like any Street Fighter game, you know that Hadouken is a down right motion. It's a down forward motion with any button. Usually that like that Hadouken for people that don't play fighting games or don't have any idea. A Hadouken is a fireball, so it's a projectile. So he said some line, and I was like, bro, why'd you say it like that? I was like, you should say it like this. I was like, you should say, but they ain't down right. I should have hit him with Hadouken. And so he said some bar, right? And
Downright.
then he said
Yeah.
he said, but they ain't down right. I should hit him with Hadouken. I be Ryuken or Liu Kang with this flame kick. And I was like, bro, what? Like he said Hadouken, and then he said, I be Ryuken. Like in Ryu and Ken are two Street Fighter characters that use Hadouken. And then he said, or Liu Kang with this flame kick. And I was like, bro,
So he put on the Mortal Kombat.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He was just So I was like, bro, I gotta go on some fighting game bars. I was like, and this is recent. So I was like, I gotta go on some fighting game bars. I was like, maybe we should just call this Street Fighter or something. But I came in and I said something like, hold on, let me grab my phone real quick.
I got you, bro. I got you. No worries, man. No worries at all, brother.
You know what? Actually, I just realized my phone's dead. But I think I said something like, if we check stats, because he had a hook. So I tried to catch the same melody as the hook. It was something like, if we check stats, we know who beasts. It's never get backs, we go through things. They'll never get that, but I'm hopeful. Sheesh. We be the
Hey.
best, but you knew that, bitch. Like how these white boys move so sick. And then I said how Chad flew in, caught a lane switch. He got a new spot with the same bitch, got the same circle that's gang. And those are the same ones that we hang with. And then I said something like cold cases, how I put these beats on the pavement. When this level 3 or CA hit, he tried to run it back, but he ain't win. And I was like, and I started to go into Street Fighter bars. So I was like, because like I said, when this level 3 or CA hits, level 3 is it's like a super move in Street Fighter, and CA is like your critical art. It's like a souped up version of your level 3. I said, when this level 3 or CA hits, he tried to run it back, but he ain't win. And I was like, I hit him with the level 3 combo, and he tried to run it back, but he didn't win. You know what I mean? Like, so I went in, I'm not gonna elaborate too much because but that's what I went into. I was like, damn. I was like, I hit some Street Fighter bars. He hit some Street Fighter bars. I had to hit some Street Fighter bars. So I was just like, I spent probably the whole 8 bars in that section that all had to do with Street Fighter. And like the only people that would ever catch it are people that play Street Fighter. So I did it for the nerds.
I like it. I freaking like it, man. So I love the involvement of music, like what you how much you say music has been involved in your life, in your upbringing, and
Yes,
how
sir.
like how you carry yourself today, right? I also love that you say that gaming has influenced you a lot as well. Yeah, getting into gaming, getting into like when you first got the Xbox, having the Xbox Live homies, like you said, playing competitively and getting into Call of Duty, getting into Halo 4, Halo 3,
Yes,
all
sir.
these kind of stuff. But also, like you said, skateboarding, dude. Can you elaborate on skateboarding a little bit, man? Because I love skateboarding, bro. I love skateboarding, bro.
Okay, so I tried
I
to
will
ride
say
bikes, man.
I
I
always
tried.
yeah
I tried. It wasn't for me.
nah
Bikes are expensive.
no they
They're
can't
expensive.
they
Uh,
absolutely can be.
I wanted to get like a We the People 28-pound bike because I wanted to do BMX. But I realized skateboarding is like a way more cheap hobby. And then I went to go visit my cousin on vacation for the summer, and he skated. I was like 12 or 13. And he gave me like a hand me down board and taught me how to kickflip and all kinds of stuff. By the end of that summer, I could inward heel like my first year, which is actually like outrageous. So it's like I was uh I was like, damn. And then I came back and I beat everybody like all the homies in skate. It's just like I glowed up on that summer. Like I was doing stuff on the board I never thought I would ever be able to do. And I was like, so he got me into it with the hand me downs, and I was just like, damn, like this is so much better than riding a bike. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm so good at it naturally, and I just like I gravitated heavily into skateboarding, because it was just something that I always thought was cool, but I didn't think I could do it. And then after lots of practice and stuff, I was actually able to figure it out. If you want, I'll share you a little something crispy that
Let me
I
see.
hit maybe a couple years ago at the skate park in town. Um, this is actually the first time I've ever landed this trick. I was never able to do this trick on flat. Flat is like flat ground, not off a ramp
Yeah.
or anything, just on the
Yeah.
cement. So this is actually, I did it off the kicker. It was a pyramid. I did it off the side of the pyramid. Basically used it as a kicker, and I did a laser flip. Laser flip is like it's a 360 front side shove with a heel flip. Really hard, really fucking hard. But all right, I did it slow mo.
That's freaking sick, dude.
No heel touches, nothing, bolts.
That's freaking sick. I
And I was
love
just like,
that.
ah, like I yelled after I landed. I yelled, but I was doing stuff like this. But like, I mean, back when I was like 15, 16, it's gonna be cranked at an angle, like
Mhm.
at a 90-degree angle. But that was like, I inward heeled the stair set, then I hit the same stair set, first handrail I ever hit, boom. Then I just did like a little sweet
Damn,
shifty
bro.
ollie, nothing crazy, little sweet shifty ollie, but boom, inward heel bolts. Boom. First handrail. First time I ever hit a handrail. Boom. Bolts. Shifty ollie. But so I've skated from like most of my life, and I've done I've done some sauce, but I used to just like, ever since I got in town, like I was just like doing fun stuff at the skate park. Like, look at how much air I was
That's
getting over the
a
over the
picture,
trash can.
bro. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
just big air. And I have like, when I was like
Yo.
maybe like a little bit younger, I did something in Salt Lake City. I did like I inward heeled over a trash can, and it was so saucy. I think it's no, that's a tray. But I did this, but I did it over a trash
Ooh.
can. I don't have for some oh, here it is actually. I did that over a trash can. And it was just so, I was like, I got so high over the trash can. The pop was crazy, bro. But no, so like, yeah, skateboarding and stuff. Like, I was doing inward heels over stairs. I was out here. I still can shred, man. I still can shred. I did a little right here. This is when I lived in Nebraska when I was taking care of my mom. Did a little inward heel backside 180 on the pyramid. But
Golly, my boy.
so I spent, most of my time skateboarding. Like, skateboarding was like my, before anything else, it was my true outlet. Like, it was what got me through so much, and it's just like I've never gave up on that. That
Over the
shit was,
trash can is wild.
and I ollie northed it. So an ollie north is where you push your front foot off the board, so it's not attached.
Yeah, I
You see
see
how
that.
the
That's
front foot just completely came
yeah.
off? Yeah, just mad sauce.
Golly.
And all right, little the off topic, but I used to be a pizza god. A lot of
I
people don't know
see
this.
that, bro.
Chef DNA was in there. He was
Golly.
throwing all kinds of stuff. I used to get mad tips. I did that in front of the whole restaurant. I would stretch dough and no, so I'm not just cold on the board. I'm cold with the pizza. I'm cold
This
in the
man
kitchen.
this man is cold on the mic, everything, bro. Golly. This man,
Got to
dude,
be good at everything I do.
this man spits. This man's cold on the board. He's cold on the game, bro. Golly. Everything, bro, everything this man touches, bro, he go crazy. Man, go crazy. I love it. I freaking love that, man. That's what's up. Dude, thank you for sharing. And that's insane, dude. Like, so did you ever do drop-ins? You ever do drop-ins, man?
Yes, I'm not a
Bro.
big fan of we call it, it's vert, and then you have tranny, which is like transition,
Hmm.
or at least we call it tranny. So it's like more of a street park with, it has vert accents to it. Like, if
Hmm.
you think of it as a color scheme, right?
Hmm.
Black with gold accents. Like, a tranny is like street with like vert accents. So it's like
Okay.
it's a mixture almost, but more heavy on the street side. So I just always I hated vert. I hated tranny. I don't like skating that. I'm a street skater. I like drops. I like stairs. Stuff like that. So um, that's kind of what I gravitate towards.
I got you. I got you. No, I asked because I got into skating from like I would do sidewalk, asphalt, whatever, but I was very much into the skate park when I was younger. When I was younger, I was very much into the skate park. So when I got to go to the skate park and like I was never really able to do I was never really able to do any kind of like stunts, any cool
Yeah,
stunts or anything like that, right? So when I finally started like ollieing, I was like, I bet like I can finally ollie. I finally started ollieing. Like I was trying to like catch some mad air too. I tried to like ollie up onto like different stuff and like ollie off of it. Like that's kind of like
yeah.
that's where I stopped. But I loved doing drop-ins. I love doing drop-ins because I was like, all right, because I did the freaking all the way up here, like way I did the freaking tall ass drop-ins, right?
That's so scary.
And the thing that I felt is like I was like, all right, I might not be able to do kickflips because I feel like I'm gonna break my shins, right? Like I'm not gonna be able to land this,
Facts.
dude. I was like, I know I can't land this, bro. Like if I apply myself, I know I can do it, right? Because you can do all things, you know what I mean? Especially through Christ who
Yeah,
strengthens you.
facts.
Let me tell you what. But I was like, I know that I could do this if I apply myself. Alrighty. But then I was like, like I can't. I was like, nah, nah,
It's
nah, nah.
Bro, the
So
mental game of skateboarding is crazy. You're
no, it
literally
is,
just
dude. I
putting
cannot
yourself
even tell
like
you how many
on
times
there
I psyched
24/7.
myself off of the drop in, bro. There were the little ones too. Like when I first started getting into it, man, I psyched myself off the drop in so many times, bro. Because I'm like, okay, I got this, I got this. I just gotta ride the momentum into it, and then I just gotta not fall off my board. And then I would like get ready. I'm like starting to like go into it, and I just fall. You know, and I had
Facts.
I had knee pads because I hit my knees so many times, bro. It got to a point where I was like, if I don't wear knee pads, I'm gonna need like knee replacements when I'm like 35. So I was like, all right,
Yep.
I was like, I need to make sure I wear knee pads. Um, but so I wear knee pads and dude, I love doing drop-ins, man. And every time I like
Makes you feel
conquered
good.
every time I conquered a drop in, I was like, I bet now I know, like after I conquer the drop in, I know that I can actually ride the momentum. So what I would do is I would like catch as much speed as I could, and then I would just ride up the drop in, and I would try to get up on the coping. Like I would try to get up on the coping and sit there and then re-drop back in, dude. I failed so many times
It's hard. It's hard.
I wouldn't get my trucks on there all the way. Like
Yeah, it's hard. And
like
then on top of that, it's the mind game of the commitment.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm, 'cause, like
once you lock in your trucks and you have to break out that axle to just going back in, it's like going back in off a 50/50 or an axle stall on vert is like significantly different than dropping in. It's
yeah,
it's so much scarier.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
But,
awesome. I like that.
yeah, no, so we had, like, pools, like, I'm talking, like, 12-foot deep, pools that had, like, the coping, and they had, like there was really, like, super steep drops. Like, there was the really, really steep drops that literally were just a straight drop. There was no curve until, like, the bottom. So
Yeah.
you were just
And then it's aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's literally like it is like a straight line, and then it's like whoop, and you know, and like if you hit that wrong, face, like you're going straight face, bro. So when
Facts.
like
100%. We
I
call it
can
the scorpion when you slide on your face and your legs are hanging
yep,
over your head like this.
yep, the
That's the
scorpion.
scorpion.
Yes, sir. No, dude, I can't even tell you how many times I hit my face, man. Can you tell? I'm still pretty, am I?
Nah, you looking
Like,
good.
no, man. I hit my face so many times. I hit my head so many times, bro. That's the main thing too. Like the place I always got injured the most, bro. This is the thing. I'm gonna drop some I'm gonna drop some oboe lore on you, bro. This is the crazy thing. Whenever I had like a major accident, it was always my head. I always got hit in the head. I always cracked my head open. I always freaking like that was all it was always something with my face or my head for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, man, but like
Brain
except
too big, they're trying to nerf you, man.
yo, you gotta throw that in the bar, bro. You gotta throw that in the bar. You know what I'm saying? I said, brain too big, gotta nerf him. He too smart. Like some, I don't know. Like you know what I mean?
Hey,
Like
hey, spit.
he's spitting, bro. Yeah, dude. No, man. Let me tell you what. But yeah, no, I loved freaking drop-ins, man. And whenever I got another drop-in, like I really felt like I could do it, you know? Because I was like, I know I
Yeah.
can't, like, because dude, the crazy thing too was I had people like the thing that sucked was the the longer I went to the skate park, the less skaters showed up. And the less skaters showed up, a lot of scooter people came over. And a lot of people that were doing scooter tricks and stuff like that, they showed up, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just
Facts.
when they started like coming to the park, a lot of skaters left. A lot of skaters were already
Yeah.
leaving, but then like when the dudes that were like hitting tricks on the scooters and stuff, they showed up, even more skaters left. And it got to a point where it was like, all right, so like I would drive by the park and I'm like, all right, skater, skater, skater. Oh, there's one. Like I was like, oh my God, there's actually a skater. I was like,
Somebody shredded.
I was like, yeah, dude. No, because the entire park was like, and like no disrespect ever. They were hitting them tricks, bro. I was watching them do backflips, bro. Like I watched them. They would.
Yeah, the scooter shred, man.
They
I'm not
would
gonna
go.
lie.
They would go from they would go from like the very back of like off of a ramp, and they would freaking just freaking pop ollie up all the way down into a freaking drop in. They would freaking kick that leg 3 times, gain as much momentum as possible. And I watched this dude ride up a drop in, hit a freaking flip over his head, bam, land it, and then ride the freaking drop in back. And I was like, I'm
That's
gonna get
just
my.
crazy.
I was like, I'm gonna get my things. I'm gonna go. I see that the goats are here now. I was like, okay. I was like, but no. But yeah, so, no, I gained a lot of respect for them because I was like, dude, that's the thing too. Like, skateboarding in itself is already dangerous enough because you have nothing to like stop you. You know what I mean? Like when you go off your board, call that doing a Superman. Like you're going off your board. Like
Facts.
if you hit a rock, a pebble, a stump, a freaking anything, you're going, you're flying, right? You're gone. But that's the thing. A scooter, you hit it the wrong way, them bars are going in your teeth. And I saw that happen too, man. I knew this
Yep.
kid. I knew this kid that hit the craziest stunts, bro. And he was very like, I wouldn't say cocky, but he was I think a little overly confident.
He's feeling himself too
He
much.
was really feeling himself, and he tried to hit a crazy stunt, and he knocked out the 2 teeth in the front, bro.
Oh no.
Cause he hit the freaking bars, man. He hit the freaking bars straight on his teeth, and I'm like,
Oh no.
bro. Yeah, I was like, see, that's the thing. This skateboarding is scary enough because you have nothing to stop you, right? You're gonna go flying and you're going to meet face with whatever's in front of you, right? Unless
Yeah.
you can like, you tumble roll or you like can like throw out your arm in front of you or something, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
with doing on a scooter, not only do you have nothing protecting you, you got something against you too. Because all it's gonna take
100%.
is face into the bars, the bar into the chest. And think about that impact too, man. Like if those steel bars hit you straight in your chest off like a failed stunt.
No,
Oh
I tried
man.
it when I was riding BMX. I tried to do a 360 over a hip, which is basically, or I mean, I'm trying to think of it, a tabletop.
Hmm.
In BMX terms, you guys know what a tabletop is. If you ride, you know what a tabletop is. And for people who don't, it's basically it's a quarter pipe, right? It's a quarter pipe that goes up, and then it's flat on top, and then it's another quarter pipe on the end. So you would go up, clear the flat part on top, and then go into the other quarter pipe. I tried to 360 over the tabletop. Anybody else just see that moth, or am I tripping?
No, yo. Yo.
I don't know, but so I tried to 360 over the
I
tabletop.
love it how we're on like a conversation and then we're like, hey yo, hold on, just break away
that?
and then just come
Yeah.
straight back to it. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
no.
that, bro.
So I tried a 360 over the tabletop.
Nice tattoos, by the way. I love your tattoos.
No, thank you. I'm getting there. I'm trying to.
Bro,
sleeve it up.
I'm a
Yeah,
clean slate, dog. I need some ink, bro.
I'm getting there.
I got one. Is that Rick and
I'm
Morty?
trying to finish.
Hold up.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to finish. I'm trying to finish this arm first. Is Rick and Morty hopping out the portal?
That's what's
Peace
up.
among worlds. So I basically tried a 360 over this tabletop, and anybody that rides knows what casing the landing is. I cased the absolute most out of this landing. So my front tire caught the lip of
Ooh,
the down quarter pipe.
because
So
you didn't have enough air, so
boom.
you hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
My front tire hit it. And then because of that, I'm holding on to the bars like this. The bars spun, and when they
Ah,
spun, they actually like cut my abdomen.
they
They went
dug
right into
into
my
your.
belly button. Like
Oh,
literally, it went right into my belly button, like right here. And then it took. I used to have
oh,
an any an any
yeah.
any belly button, right? It took my belly button and pulled it out, and I had internal
Damn.
bleeding. It ripped it out, and I actually got stitches like around my belly button. Um,
Jeez.
it was wild. So I was like, I hurt myself so much on biking compared to skating, but then I hurt myself worse on skating later throughout many years of doing so. But
Yeah.
I just boom, I turned my innie into an outie, man. That shit was crazy. Internal bleeding and everything just because I tried to hit this jump and the handlebars, boom, I cased the front tire and the handlebars shoved into my stomach, and then all of that weight and pressure from me trying to do the trick just slid up my chest, and I
Oh,
really messed myself up.
oh man, dude, that's freaking scary, man. Like and the thing is too, like my dad was a skater. Like my dad was the so my dad, he, bro, my man would skate anything. He didn't care. Like he told me you are so lucky you got skate parks because he was like, bro, we didn't have that. He was like, all these roads and everything you see now. When I was a kid, it was hills. It was just hills,
Yeah,
man. He was like, we didn't have nothing like that. So he's like, if we found a parking lot, we shred that all day. 6 hours, 8 hours, just chugging back Mountain
facts.
Dew and just shredding the
Yeah,
whole freaking parking lot. Oh, dude, you think you could ollie up onto that? Oh, yo, kickflip off of it. Like they were
you won't do it. Yeah,
no, they were doing
no,
like
same concept.
the Dogtown Z Boys. Like
Yeah,
that was my dad and his crew. Like they
no,
did
that's the
that
move, man.
they did that kind of
That
stuff,
is
man.
so awesome,
So
honestly, because I trying to get into stuff like that is just like I had a lot of inspiration, but it's just like I always tell people that skateboarding is at a decent level of where you're pushing yourself is literally you're just a piece of wood, and you're throwing yourself at concrete for no reason, just pure enjoyment.
I mean, that's it's pretty good. It's a pretty good breakdown. It's
I
pretty
mean,
accurate.
shit.
It's pretty accurate. You know what I mean? Um, but no, like yeah, like he always told me, he was like, bro, you're so lucky. You're so lucky to have these skate parks and these pools and all this kind of stuff. He was like, dude, if we found a pool back then, bro, he was like, empty that pool right now. Cause like he was like, bro, they shred everything. They were shredding everything. They were hitting rails. Any possible thing they could. They were doing staircases, any
No
possible.
fear.
And yeah, yeah,
Skateboarding is one of the things that I learned in my life is like it actually helped me get over fear. Like in certain aspects, I have phobia of certain things, but I'm telling you, skateboarding, as far as fear and like the mental game of what you have to overcome to do something, because you have to really believe in in your soul that you're going to be able to do it. Because if you don't, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to fall, and I don't mean hurt yourself bad. You might just scrape your elbow. It don't
yeah,
matter. Like there's plenty of different situations, but it's just like you truly have to believe that you're able to do what you're doing. Otherwise, you're gonna crash. You're gonna burn, and then you're gonna be like, "Damn, I should have did this or that." And then like a lot of what I'm doing is like in skateboarding is like I'm breaking down. I'm like, "Oh, I do this instead." Like in that like that micro moment of trying to cook something up, like I'm like, oh, I think I could do this, and then I do it, and I'm like, oh, I hurt myself. I'm like, oh yeah, but if I adjust right here, I think I got it. And that helped me in games. It's just
yeah,
like I
yeah,
try to approach it in a
you look
similar
at it,
situation.
and you're like, instead of like, I can't do this, you're like, I didn't do it here, but if I adjust this here, here, and here, I probably
Yeah,
can do it. And then when you actually apply that, just in that moment, you are believing in yourself, and then
yeah.
that can
I'm
produce
honest, man. I've never done
results,
anything in my
you know?
entire life that has made me feel so good for piecing something together that I like think of it think of like a new trick as like a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's like I might have 97 out of the 100 pieces, but those last 3 pieces, I
You want
can't
them so
figure out where
bad.
they go. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because it's 3 pieces. You should be able to figure out the last 3 pieces, but that's just not how it works. So it's just like I had like to have some serious dedication. You can't be scared of the pain. You can't be scared of the cement or the concrete or
Yeah.
falling or hurting yourself. You just have to commit. And once you commit in skateboarding, when you're doing something a little bit more major, commitment is a big thing. If you are scared to commit, you might actually hurt yourself. You might
No,
actually hurt yourself
100%.
significantly more than if you were to actually just commit to it. So it's like I try to just commit because usually when you commit and you go in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the outcome, it might be painful, but in skateboarding you just have to commit, bro. You have to believe in yourself. And something that's probably a part of the character that I am today, right? Like you have to believe in yourself because you will hurt yourself and that's just part of it. But like being but I push through so much pain that it's just like hitting the concrete ain't nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like it's a lesson. I'm like, oh, I should have did this or I should have did that. Some people are scared of it. That's why people have trouble dropping in, like we were talking about dropping in on the quarter pipes. It's a
Because
big mental game.
you start psyching yourself out. You're just like
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like you kind of get this like wonky woozy feeling. Like when you're looking at it, you feel like it could be the smallest drop in the world. When you're up there, that thing is a
It feels like you're
skyscraper.
at the top of the
Yep.
world. Yeah.
Yep. That thing feels like you are on the top of a building, about to drop down and ride the glass. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
literally,
yes, sir.
you're like, "Ah," like it. You really feel like you about to drop down 150 feet. You know what I mean? And it's a 5 foot drop in. You know, but you're psyching
Yeah.
yourself out, and that's something that I mean, we can honestly use that in everyday life. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
if you psych yourself out, bro, not only will you rob yourself of being able to see great results, but also you will keep your mind in this constant thought of not being able to grow and evolve, like we were also talking about earlier, because you're in this
Yeah.
constant state of fear that you can't do something, you
Facts.
know? And if you live in that state of fear, then you will not see results. You won't see results because you're not trying. You have to
Facts.
hit the concrete to know this is where I have to adjust and I have to tweak this and I have to do this. You have to fall on your face. You have to
Because
make
the
mistakes.
hard example is I mean this is objective. It's very objective, but are you gonna learn something faster when it causes damage to your physical self or your body or your mental? Are you gonna learn how to adjust or overcome that problem faster if it's detrimental to you in a way? Or are you going to learn in a safe, it doesn't hurt you, it's not bad for you? Or which way is going to make you learn faster? Because like the way that I look about learning certain things is it's almost like a survival thing, right? So
Mm,
like if you're learning something for survival, you tend to learn a little bit quicker, trying to maybe a little bit more optimal, something like that. But when you're learning something in a sense of because you're scared of it, it takes a little bit longer for you to lock in on those details. But if you're doing it for a different reason other than fear, because like, I mean, you could do it for fear, but there's different levels of learning how to face that, right? So I feel like learning how to do that in an optimal way that's good for you is always healthy.
yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Now, so I really appreciate that. That was cool. That was really cool to talk about skating and to talk about how much it's meant to you and to kind of go down my own memory lane too, man, of skating. That was
It's
really
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
It's such a
it
cool
is,
sport.
man. It is
Thank
such a cool
God
sport.
it's an Olympic
Yes.
sport now.
Um right, exactly. No, what do you call it? No, it's a great outlet like you were talking about, and it's also a great place to meet friends too. Because let me tell you what, man, like you can meet some really cool people in skating, and that I mean that's
100%.
my dad had some friends that he used to like I don't know if he exclusively met like all of them in skating, but they eventually did do a lot of skating to get like a lot of skating together, and then 30 years later they still knew each other, like they were still
Yeah,
friends.
that's
They
love.
they didn't they didn't talk every single day, but they knew they were a phone call away, a text message
But
away.
when yeah, exactly. So like even if you don't talk every day, the people that are real with you, the people that care about you, it might like oh, but when's the last time we actually had a conversation like this? Like maybe a year ago?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's any different than if we just talked yesterday? Like be honest.
No, no, not
Not
at
at
all.
all, right?
Like
That's how you know that the people around you are real people
that
because we all
it
understand we're
also
adults. We have
yeah,
things going on. We have responsibilities. We have priorities. We have bills. We have all of these things that weigh into our everyday life to where some people might hold you in a certain what's the word, like in a certain area of light where they feel a certain way because you aren't communicating with them as much as they would like you to communicate with them.
right.
But you've met somebody that's important in your life or might be like just a good friend if we hadn't talked for 300 days. And then the second that we start talking, it's like we just started picking up from where we were yesterday, the last time we talked. There's no days missed. There's no hostility. There's nothing extra about it. It's just good, clean, pure intentions that you can share with your friends. It's just like in the day and age that we live in, it doesn't work like that. People they hold like certain feelings or regrets or emotions or maybe uncomfortability of oh he didn't talk to me last week, he must not really be my friend. And it's like we live in this age because we have social media and we have technology that everything we deal with is instant gratification. And because of that
100%.
instant gratification, a lot of people don't hold certain values to the standard that they necessarily should. Maybe just, and that's my viewing, that's not like a fact, or that's just my opinion. But it's just like anybody that I love and I care about, it could be 5 years, it could be 5 days, it could be 5 minutes. I'm not going to talk to you any different than I talked to you the last time that we spoke. I'm not going to carry you in a different light. I'm going to talk to you with the same respect, no matter the gap and how long we talk, no matter what's going on in your life. I will always treat you the same. And if you need me, I might be there extra. But that being said, it's just like some people don't feel that way and they feel resentment because you can't give them the time out of your life that they think they deserve. And
Right.
I anybody that I can catch up with, like we're catching up today, like we're just talking. Anybody that can hold that sort of respect and understand that we're all grown, we all got stuff going on, but it's just like there's not many people that I can catch up with in my life that could have a gap like that in between us communicating, talking about anything, and not have some sort of resentment. So it's just like we have to be a little bit more understanding, I think. And I just appreciate you because it's just like, bro, we ain't skipped a day. We could have did this yesterday. Nobody would have known. But we
Right.
ain't talked in at least a year, maybe 2 years on some serious shit and had like a
Right.
legitimate
More
conversation.
yeah,
So it's just like
more than a couple
I have
messages here or there, or
so
like
much
yeah.
respect for you and other people like that that understand that we're all grown, we're all going through things, we all got stuff going on, but no matter what, all that shit to the side, we still it's not we didn't skip any day. We're still here. We're still good for each other. We're still helping each other. We're still talking about things. We're still making sure that we're good. So it's just like that is a level of respect and honor that I don't have for a lot of people. So I appreciate it.
Hey
And I
man.
appreciate you having me on. And I know we dragging it out, and I feel bad, but I'm gonna have you sit here. I'm gonna let you line up some questions. I'm gonna use the restroom because I really gotta pee.
You're good, man.
I'm gonna hit my nicotine a little bit. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna have you answer my or ask me the rest of the questions that you need to ask me because I know we dragging on.
Nah, it's
We've
all
been in
good,
here for a
man.
long time.
Trust me, it's all good,
Um,
man.
but hopefully that anything that we talked about and for the future or regardless of what we talked about, games, skateboarding, anything, if you can relate or if you ever, are going through anything and you ever feel like you're the only one that nobody understands, just know that like that that might be true to you, but that's not true to the world. So don't be afraid to reach out to your friends. It doesn't matter if you haven't talked in a long time. Just know that the people that care about you will take care of you and they'll be there for you. So
No matter the
don't
gap
skip
in
out.
time. Absolutely.
Don't skip out. Time means nothing to people that love you. It could be
Oh,
5 days,
dude.
5 minutes,
Oh,
5 hours, 5 years. They'll still be there
yeah.
for you.
Yeah. That is very well said, man. I like that. I like
I'll
that.
be right back.
Yes, sir. I like that, man. I like that. Yo, can we hold up? Can we just hey man. Can we just get a round of applause for this freaking absolute Chad, bro? Good guy. Good freaking guy, man. DNA, just good freaking guy. Um, great lessons that he has that, he's like teaching us, you know what I mean? Right? That he's, explaining his experience of his own life and what he's been going through, the struggles he's had, right? And what he's learned from it and the incredible way that he carries himself now through everything that he's gone through, like the way he's shifted his mindset as well to look at things differently and look at things not from a narrow, self kind of uh, view, but to look at it from the larger scale. It's incredible. It really is incredible, man. And to look at life like that and to think about things like that, to look at things without having a barrier, without having some, narrow, tiny, I don't know, way of how you look at situations, being able to look at every situation as the full scale, right? It really is an incredible way of living, right? Honestly, because you get to see the full picture. And you also in doing that too, you don't get so mad about things. This is another thing we were talking about. Is you don't get so mad about things because you're seeing the larger picture. You're seeing the whole thing, right? Like let's just say your buddy doesn't answer you for I don't know. You have a buddy, you have a buddy that you talk to every day and you guys are playing the game every single day, and then you don't hear from buddy for 2 weeks or something like that, right? And then first that turns into like, oh, what happened to my buddy, like it turns into worry, like are you okay, all this kind of stuff. But then eventually that could potentially turn into like, oh, where is this person, where is he, like why, right? But it's like that's such a narrow way of looking at it. You know what I mean? You never know what happened.
Right.
You never know what happened to the buddy. So it's like if you have that larger scale, if you have the wide, you know, viewing of every situation in life, it's like, oh, sure, buddy's gone for 2 weeks, right? But that's not something you hold against him. It could be, oh, for literally a million different reasons is why, he had to go. He had to, I haven't talked to him in a while or something like that. You know what I mean? So being able to look at things not in a narrow way, right? Being able to look at the entire picture instead of like, oh, I had this friend and I was talking to them and then, oh, they're gone. Oh, I'm mad at this friend because they're not talking to me anymore. It's like, no, you look at it like this, anything could have happened and I know we're going to catch up again. And if we don't, hey, I wish that person the best in life. Maybe
I
that
try to play the
person,
devil's advocate for
yeah.
most of any critical argument because you have to be able to place yourself in somebody else's shoes. If you can't like do that sympathetically or empathetically,
Hmm.
then you should just try to be there for them
Yeah.
because there's a
Yeah.
I
If you
mean, I
can't,
just I
if
just
you can't
lost one of my really
understand,
best friends recently. He was in a dark place. He had kids and everything. He's about younger than me and he you know, deaded himself. Um
sorry, brother.
and it was really hard for me. No, it's just I've been through it, but it's just like it always really hurts. and it's just like, you never know what you could have done for somebody. It's just like try to be understanding, try to be objective, try to.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put yourself outside of your own perspective because people get so emotional, but it's just like that's so important
Yeah, it
because
is.
even if you haven't been through anything and you can't understand, you can try. And it sometimes, because
Or
you got to think, is like if your friend, if your best friend is asking you, is trying to vent to you, right? Try to think of it in this way. Try to talk to your friend. Try to ask them, hey, do you want to vent or do you want advice? Because it has to be the situation. You can't just be giving advice when somebody doesn't want advice. They're not going to listen.
yeah.
So you have to make sure that, like, are they trying to get it out? Did they need somebody to just listen to them? Or do they need somebody to play the devil's advocate? Do they need somebody to try and give them advice? Because sometimes, depending on the situation that somebody's in and what they're going through, they're not going to listen to your advice. It might trigger them, it might make it worse. So you need to be understanding of that situation before you jump into it and try to just get, if you can't, then just try to be there for them. If you can't understand, then just try to be there. Try. The thing in life that I like to tell people is everybody needs to be heard. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you understand, it doesn't matter if you get it. People just want to be heard. It's such a crucial thing about humankind. You just sometimes when somebody listens, it makes you feel better. So just if you can be
Because
that for
you're
somebody
feeling like
else, then
you
do
feeling
it.
like you're being seen. You're feeling like
Yeah.
there's a level of importance to not only you but what you're talking about because somebody's actually they see you. And it's like the same thing too. Like before we started this, you mentioned like the biceps. I was never gonna bring that up. I was never gonna bring that up. We weren't gonna talk about that. Nothing, right? And I'm literally sitting there.
Bro,
I'm
looking
like, I
shredded.
went to go like scratch my head. You're like,
Oh,
damn, the biceps, right? And I'm like, oh snap! Like I felt seen, and I didn't even
yes,
like, you know
sir.
what I mean. So
That
it's like,
work paying off.
so it's like, it's putting yourself in a position to maybe if you don't understand what someone is going through, you could at least try to
Listen, you know?
yeah, listen,
That
and
sometimes that's all they want.
yeah, yeah, something like, oh, I went through this really rough time and so and so. All right, well, pat the horse on the back and keep going. It's like, no, I don't need
Be
advice.
genuine.
Yeah,
Genuine is so important.
I don't need exactly. I don't need advice. I need to literally talk. I need to scream right now. I need to talk like I need to get this out and I'm confiding in you because you're my friend and like I just need to feel seen for a moment, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's like
100%.
it's so important to let people know that they're seen and they're like, oh man, this is like we're kind of talking about like the mental health. We were my buddy Viking and I, we were talking about mental health last week. Like it is so important to let people know that they're seen, they're heard, they are important, right? Like
Yep.
and another thing too, you said what do you call it? I'm losing my train of thought in the moment. You gotta love ADHD, man. Like I'm like,
Same.
you gotta love it, dude. Because I'm like I'm on a roll. I'm on this, and then I'm just like ah I lost it. Like man, I can't stand that. But no, yeah, like trying to be understanding genuine, being genuine. You said being genuine is very important. Because people can tell when you're not being genuine.
Oh,
You know,
100%. Especially
Peop-
if you're really intuitive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their face. Their like how they carry themselves. If someone is not being genuine, dog, you can smell it. Like you know what I mean. You can.
Yep.
It stinks. Like oh man, it's weird. Like you got to be genuine. You got to be genuine. You got to mean what you say. You know. And I just again this has seriously been a great conversation. I'm gonna try to let me
Pretty
like
good. Okay,
oh
I'll
dude.
keep you on track. I'll keep you on track. Dish it out. I need rapid fire. I'll be concise.
All
I'll be
right, bet. Here
concise.
we go. Here we go. Here we go. But no, seriously, every single thing we talked about, I've been thoroughly enjoying. Learning
I
more about
appreciate it. It's
you.
been a good time.
Yeah, learning more about you and having this moment to just I mean, we real, right? But no, just
Yes, sir.
have this time to just be real, just talk real, just talk life. Talk, man, dude, this sucks, but hey, we're gonna get through it together. Like
Yes,
I
sir.
love it. I love that, man. All right. Do you have a life story in mind or a personal experience before you start writing a song? Like is that a kind of like a, I don't, not a graph, like a footnote, I don't know. Is that kind of like a normal
Yeah.
thing? Is that a normal thing for you to do, to have something like that in mind, or is it something you only do like sometimes?
Well, I I it's a good question. I tend to I'm bad, like I said, with expressing myself. So
Mm.
I used to hold everything in until I blew up. Not on a
Man,
beat, just blew
dude,
blew up emotionally. So
I feel that. Me
I
too.
realized that the best way for myself to do it without like I let everything build. I let it all build and I put it on a song. Uh I don't just I don't write bars and then I need to find a beat that I can fit these bars to. I turn the beat on, the beat talks to me
Mhm.
on some it's I can't it's not explainable. It probably wouldn't make sense to most people, but what I tell
It's
people is like
you
when I really
feel
tap in, bro, I feel like somebody's taking me over and speaking through me. It's speaking through me in a way that I could never have done by myself. I feel like there's something greater out there that's guiding the way that I go into it. So it's like when I turn the beat on, the beat tells me. It tells me to say this or that. Like I love to take credit, but it just doesn't work like that for me. It's not like I can't take credit for something that I feel like something is just it just goes. Like something is almost like
yeah.
think of it like a rap ghost. It sounds so stupid when I
A
say it out
rap
loud, but it's just
ghost.
think
No,
of it
I
like a
like
rap
it.
ghost that
I like it.
possesses me, like a greater something greater than myself. And like somebody
Do
had to
you
break it down to me that it's just like it's not something that's you, bro. That's what you're doing. That's something deep inside of you. And I was just like, yeah, but
do
like
you
you don't
think do you think when the beat comes on and you have it in mind, do you think it's the trauma talking?
the way it sounds, like the way the beat sounds articulates everything of how I put it on. So
Mm.
it's just like it could be shit. Like I could be thinking about something that happened 5 years ago. I could be thinking about something that happened 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter. It's just like the second that the beat turns on, if it doesn't talk to me, next.
Yeah.
If I'm not like it's so deep. It's like I literally feel like somebody's behind the keyboard like, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to say this." I don't feel like it's part of my own skill set, right? But at the end of the day it kind of is. It's just like I've always looked at it as something else, something better than me has been helping me. You know what I mean? And I always lean towards music because of that. And it's just like the beat turns on, whatever the beat, whatever it tells me, like, and that's what I'm saying. I could turn you a beat on. It might speak to you in a different way than it speaks to me, but it's telling me to do something in a certain way or take a break here. It's like, and that was before I even knew music theory. That was before I knew how to count bars. That was before I knew how to count music. That was before I knew how to make a hook. I just knew, like, I knew what 4 bars was. I didn't know how to count 4 bars. I knew this was 4 bars. Nobody ever told me, like, hey, this is how you count music. I just knew. It was there. It was in my blood. Like, I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know anything. I just knew how to do it. I knew how to execute. Couldn't explain it, couldn't break it down in any way, shape, or form. But you turn that beat on, and I'm a different person. My voice is different. Like you heard
I
me. If
will
you talk to me tomorrow,
yeah.
my voice would be completely different than it is right now. It's just like that was something that was always really crucial to me. It's like, bro, why does my voice completely change? Like, so I just feel like it's not only me. I have to attribute it everything that I write, everything that I do to something helping me get it out. It's not just me. There's something greater than me that's inside of me. Maybe even if it's just a speck of greatness, it's there. And for some reason, when I'm creating, I can tap into that greatness and I can expand it sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't go as far, sometimes it doesn't expand to anything maybe that I think is great because I'm the most critical person in my own thing. So it's just like
Dude, I hear you too,
there's
man. Like,
something in
I
there
mean,
that
it
I'm
says
tapping into.
we are our biggest critic. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, absolutely,
100%.
100%, dude. Like, we will literally tear apart like our own creation so much and be like, nah, this is not good, or whatever. But it's like, I mean, that's literally just part of it. That's that
Yeah,
part. It's part of who you are. And I mean, I think with time, it's really important to express self-love to yourself, right?
facts.
And I think part of like practicing, like, you look good today, I'm proud of you, like, good morning, I love you, like, saying that to yourself. Like, I was when I was doing in therapy, when I was in therapy, man, because I didn't have a way to get it out, and I was going through a time where I needed to get some stuff out, and I didn't know how or what. So I was like, all right, let me
Especially in
just.
a healthy manner.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Because man, let me tell you, when you said, you let it build to the point where you blow up, that was me, and I would get mad, I would get so angry, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. So
Like, who put the floor here? Like,
yeah.
what is this? No,
you
like
start you start
it's just
getting
it's
mad. You're like,
irrational.
why
Yeah.
is this
And
wall so fluffy? Like,
and then like
yeah,
and
man.
then you look at it and it's irrational and you're looking at yourself like, why did I do that?
Exactly. You're like, why did I think that?
That
Why did I? By the way,
self-awareness is
Inferno,
powerful,
hello,
bro.
welcome in Inferno. Hi. But yeah, no, like yeah, exactly. Like you start looking at that. You're like, why did I act like that? And then that can turn into like guilt and shame, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
it's this whole thing. My therapist told me words, like, quote this, but freaking put it on a t-shirt, bro. Words are spells, so don't cast them against yourself. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn. No, really though.
I firmly believe in manifesting.
Like,
I've read so many books. And just to everybody out there, by the way, um if you're curious about manifesting, there's a book by Rhonda Burns. It's called The Secret. I'm telling you, that book changed my life. It changed my life. I'm not even exaggerating, not even in the slightest. Like, that book changed my life because people are like, oh, I'll elaborate a little bit because, we're a little bit on a time crunch, but the way the things are is like, oh, like you have to speak what you believe, you have to manifest it, you have to make it happen. The issue with that being is a lot of people hear that and they're like, yeah, and they say, oh, I want this or I want this. The issue is they're not asking in a proper way to actually manifest something. So there's ways that you're supposed to speak these words. There's dream boards that you can have. There's notes you could put in a notebook, but you have to speak it
um
in a certain
positive
way.
affirmations too, as
Yeah,
well.
100%.
Having
And
like your
so,
own positive affirmations.
and being and when you manifest something, you have to truly, like, people that don't, like, if you don't really believe yourself, you're not going to be able to manifest what you believe in. That's one of the biggest things. And I'm telling you, The Secret, Rhonda Burns. If you don't read, don't be scared. Don't be scared at all because I'm telling you, this book, it's maybe 130 to 150 pages, and the print is so big, and a lot of the pages are references to situations that happened in real life where people took this manifestation and they applied it to a real life situation. And I'll give you one quick example of something that I read. It's just like when you read it, it doesn't seem real. But I'm telling you, the thing with this is you have to like, if you don't believe in it, it's not gonna work. It sounds so cliche, but that's just how it works. There's a person that was very skeptical. He was a very um prestigious scientist, and he did lots of research on monks and chakra and all of this. But he basically was like, okay, no way that this is real. So in order to prove to himself that this was something that was actually powerful, that it could actually happen, he tried to manifest something that for most people wouldn't be a real thing, that wouldn't be possible. So what he manifested in his mind is, he was like, if this is, I mean, this is, I'm paraphrasing. So he said, if this is real, then I should be able to create something that will happen in a situation in my life to where I'll believe it. So he said, all right, well, if this is real, I can manifest anything. So I'll manifest a bird, and this bird will have a feather, and this will be the specific pattern of the feather. And if it's actually real, this feather will just pop off the bird will shed the feather, and this feather will land on my doorstep. And he opened his door one day, and like I said, I'm really paraphrasing, I'm making it quick. He opened his door one day, and lo and behold, on his steps was the feather that he dreamed about, that he drew on his vision board, that he manifested, that he said, no way this feather could be real, because feathers, like snowflakes, they're one of one. So this feather appeared on his doorstep, and then he lost it. He was like, "Oh my god," like that's what it took for that guy to become a believer. There was another guy that wrote on a dream board, and his dream house, and how this would be his dream house, and by the end of his life this was 100% going to be it. There's nothing else, no variations, etc. 25 years later of believing in this, and then like learning to ask in a different way that you're supposed to be able to ask for these manifestations. 25 years later, he got his dream house one for one, for the same exact thing that he drew on his whiteboard 25 years ago, one for one. And it's just like,
Wow.
manifestation is a powerful thing. And I'm telling you, if you read that book, again, third plug, The Secret, Rhonda Burns, you can get it on Amazon. It's maybe $20 tops. That book will change your life. But the issue is I know everybody out there might be skeptical. The thing is, when it comes down to something like this, you really have to truly believe it in your core. If you don't truly believe it in your core, it's not going to help you. So you have to be open. If you're not open minded, I can't speak for it. But I promise you, I read it in maybe 8 hours, and it was a light read. And the stories and situations of the stuff that they're talking about in the book, you would say, oh, that there's no way. But I'm telling you, there's so much depth to it that you could look all of these situations up. You could find the real people. This shit really happened. So I promise you, if you are any sort of curiosity about manifestation, read The Secret by Rhonda Burns, and it will change your life. I've loaned it to a lot of people, and I'm telling you, it's different. And it's a light read, doing it in a day. I've read it probably 2.5 times. I'm halfway through it right now on my most recent read, because sometimes you just need to be reminded of how powerful you are as a human being. Trust me.
I like that. Well said, man. Well said. So, actually, are there any are there any what are some of the biggest challenges you faced while trying to create music?
Music theory. Music theory is a big thing, because music theory is basically just, I mean, to sum it up in a quick term, it's like what makes it catchy, what makes it stick in your head,
Yeah.
and how do you
How does it flow with the
get
beat
that
and
and apply it to other people. Because like riding the beat and everything is like a certain thing, but just like music theory is so much, it's down to counting the amount of syllables that you, it's like poetry, you're counting the amount of syllables you do per bar, and you're making sure that there's not too many syllables. And then where people get creative is it's like you add syllables or take syllables away, and then you rap it in a way that nobody else might have ever done it before, but it sounds so smooth and catchy, and you're like, man, that might not be on beat, but geez, like that's so clean. That's music. Like at the core, I guess, I people are gonna kill me for this, but like that's essentially music theory, right? Is like being able to create a whole piece of art, hook, verse, etc. So like let's say the hook is 16, let's say the bars for the verse are 32, and then you got another 16 bar hook. Depending on the BPM for the beat, that could be 3 minutes. That could be a whole song, and you got hook, verse, hook. That might be the whole thing. That could be music. That's music theory, right? If you're each bar is crafted to a certain extent, the hook's catchy. Music theory is almost like a structure, like a structure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it
Um,
does. It does.
and then like music theory to each person could be a little bit different, but like the solid basis of definition is always going to be the same. But that's what it is. It's making basically like the way that I look at music theory, it's like something that's so um interesting that other people like apply, like they can't stop listening to it. So it's like, you ever had a song that's stuck in your head
Million times, yeah.
and then you're just like, you can't get the song out of your head and you just keep singing it in your head over and over?
There are so many songs that I like hum the beat and like yeah. Yeah.
That's like the definition. Oh, I don't want to say definition. That's like what music theory is. The most important practical part of music theory is like that catchiness of like, you can't get it out of your head. It's so catchy, and not just catchy, but might be relatable. So because music theory is like the study of practices and possibilities of music. So three interrelated uses of music theory is basically the rudiments, which like the rudimentary stuff,
Mm.
which is basically what you need to understand music notation, because music notation is basically learning how to count music. So the second thing about music theory is learning scholars' views on music from like the antiquity, like the old stuff, to like the present. And the third thing about music theory is music. It's called musicology. It's like a subtopic of music theory. Um, and by definition, that means to seek and define processes of general principles of music. So, like, if you don't know, obviously, if you don't know what the general processes of music are, then maybe, look it up a little bit. But like a musicological approach to theory differs from all music analysis, right? It's it's like the starting point in music, not the individual work or performance, but the fundamental materials on which you use to craft music by core. So like we're talking not just hip hop, we're talking like opera level. We're talking, symphonies, we're talking classic rock. Every single thing you listen to uses music theory in a different way, deeper or less deeper than what you could probably imagine. So music theory is like it's frequently describing how musicians compose their own music. That includes tuning the music, the composition methods, other topics, like, because music is ever expanding, right? The conception of music, or what constitutes music, is a more inclusive definition than like could be considered by any sort of sonic phenomena. So we're talking silence. Silence could actually be music. This is like what a lot of people don't understand. But this isn't like an absolute guideline. It's a little bit construed. It might be paraphrasing a little bit, but for example, like the study of music in the liberal arts university curriculum is usually like they take it to common medieval Europe. It's like an abstract system of proportions that was like studied from a distance from actual musical practice. So this medieval discipline became the basis of tuning the systems in later centuries, and generally included a modern scholarship of the history of music theory. So it's just like my music theory could be slightly different than yours, but that the core fundamentals of music theory will always be the same across every genre.
I like that.
It's
I like
it's
that.
really interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, and you just perfectly described that music has structure. It does. It does have a structure. There is a process to it. There is a step to
And
creating
people
it.
go to college for it.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. There, I mean, just reading. I mean, like you. This is one of the messages we had. You're talking about reading sheets. Actually, like reading sheets properly, learning to read sheets, reading the like learning to count bars properly, and like the spacing and the pacing of a song. And like you said, like if you have this amount here and this amount here, this amount here, and you have a certain BPM in the middle of it, like how is that going to turn? Is it going to be 3 minutes, 4 minutes, five, six?
Yeah.
hook, what's like, so
And to
it
me,
absolutely
which
has a
is
structure.
really so weird, it's so weird for me, is like all of the things that I talked about, they're not going into my thought process when I'm creating anything at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. Because there's
It's
I'm
something you just kind of
blessed.
do, you know?
No, I'm before I even knew what I was doing it. It's just like I'm blessed to have, like I said, there's somebody looking out for me. It might be my better self. It might be God, but somebody's looking out for me. Somebody's looking out for me in the sense of where like before I had an understanding of this, I was doing it without understanding. I was doing it without realizing what I was doing. And then when I realized it, I was like, how was I ever crafting things in the way that I was crafting? How was I structuring it this way? How did I come up with this? Like, I'm not saying I'm definitely not the best artist. I just make music to make music. I make music because I love it. I make music because it's a good outlet.
It's a
I make
passion.
music because without it, I wouldn't be able to talk about how I feel.
Yeah.
So I didn't do this to get famous. I didn't do this because I wanted clout. I didn't do this because I had a homie just like you that was like, "Hey man, you need to drop. Hey, can you freestyle? Let freestyle, bro. Let's smoke and you freestyle." I'm just like, it got so annoying to the point where I was just like, "Man, imagine if I could just be like, yo, just look at this song." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because most people perform for money. I'm performing for free to my friends. It's like, just look at this song, bro. Like, hey, you want to hear me spit? Listen to this. Listen to this. And then it got to the point of where I started crafting things. And then, like the last thing I crafted, the next thing had to be better. I was holding myself to a standard. It's just like I did it because people bothered me. I didn't put it out. Oh yeah, I need to put it out so everybody can listen so I can get fame. No, I put it out because random guy that I was 16 with in sophomore year who told me that I had bars, and he's like, "Bro, you need to spit like freestyle for everybody." And I got so tired of doing that I was like, "Yo, what if you just like listen to the song? Go on Apple Music." And then it went from, "Oh, go on SoundCloud, listen to this," to "Go on Apple Music, listen to this. Go on fucking Pandora, listen to this." Like I branched out. I wanted to make it accessible for all the people that just wanted to hear it. It wasn't, and that's when I realized that I started doing it for a little bit of a deeper meaning other than me. I started to do it for other people because I wanted other people to be able to take like a little snap out of my life and maybe understand or whatever, because I you might be my best friend, but I couldn't tell you what I was going through, and then I might drop a song and you're like, "Damn, like he was really going
I
through
do
it. I didn't
know
even know."
I do know there's one song where you were you might have done this in a couple songs. I might not have caught it, but I know there's definitely one song where you're talking about your mom and how she was working two
Yeah,
jobs just so you could keep the roof over your head, you know? Like I do
facts.
remember that. I do definitely remember that. So, how does music find its way into your life? Your day-to-day life?
Oh, dude. I'm literally, if I don't have my headphone in, I'm at work rapping bars off of whatever it is I'm listening to. Like, uh, lately I'm listening to Sleepy Hollow, and I've been listening to him for like since like 2018, before anybody even knew. But then he made that song on TikTok, um, Tiptoe, and everybody's like, "Oh, I listen to Sleepy." It's just like I've been listening to this for so long, and they're like, "Tiptoe through the window, through they like, bro, the tiptoe and then the deep end freestyle. Everybody, I'm in the mouth, something like a dentist, bro. He was he was crazy, and so he dropped a new album, and it's just like I'll be in work scanning parcels, like scanning packages, mail,
Mhm.
um, and I'll just be like, "She don't love me, she just love emotion. Uh, I shouldn't show emotion. I still got some feelings that I'm trying to cope with. I roll up my feelings, then I fucking smoke it. I done lost a lot, but winning was the focus." Like, Sleepy is so good. Like, it's just like I learned how to make everything that I do catchy. I learned what I do from them, from Sleepy and Chef and Winter Circle Entertainment, Sleepy Hollow, Chef G. I mean, currently those are some of my biggest inspirations in music, and if you don't listen to them and you listen to them, you could hear it. And it's just because they make drill music, drill music. It's it's it has its shine. It's catchy, but like they're not just doing drill stuff. They're doing like it's it's so relatable. Like so a lot of the stuff that they went through, a lot of the stuff that they're talking about, like I can relate to it myself because of the things that I grew up in and things that I gravitated towards. But um I'm telling you, like I have if I never blow up in music, bro, I might be a producer. I might be a music label entertainment. Like I have a knack for being able to catch people early on in their what they're doing and being like that guy's going to be big. And I feel like that's never been useful in any situation in my life, but like bro, like I was on Juice World, rest in peace Juice, since before he made music. The day like literally the day maybe first week he created his Instagram, Lil Bibby and Lil Herb were posting them on their page, and they're like, this guy's gonna be good, like he's gonna be so big, he's like 15. And then like maybe 2 years later he dropped his first album, and I was just like, I was already on it because I was tapped in way before. And it's just like I listen to a lot of stuff before it becomes big. I've had that ability to tap in, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be big. Like this guy's gonna blow up. Like everybody don't know, but they will know soon. So it's just like if I never am able to do what I want to do in music, because what I want to do in music is I just want to make music. I don't I don't want to play shows. I don't want to make money. I don't care about it. Like it'd be really cool, right? Like that'd be awesome, but like I don't need to go on world tours. Like that's not I didn't do it because I realized that I could make some sort of profit. It was never about that. So it's just like I have this ability to sense in music early and see like, oh, this guy's going to be great. And I feel like, if I never if music never gets to where I want it with my own career, I feel like if I ever had the funds or the ability to do sort of a record label or anything of those sorts, I'd be really good to tap in and find talent because I can see stuff that other people just don't seem to see until everybody sees it. It's like I
Yeah.
see it early. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's actually a talent when it comes to the music industry.
No, absolutely. So then on that same note, what would be some goals you would like to achieve in the space of rap or music creation just in general?
Uh, I have a lot, honestly. I mean, I'd love to film a music video. I've been waiting. Um, haven't filmed anything because it's not there yet. It has to be really good. But just like I would love to film like an actual music video that's like on par, um,
Yeah.
like something really good. But I I I don't. My goal, like most people, "Yeah, I want to go on a world tour." Like I don't. That's not how I think. I just want more streams. Like next month, if my streams just went through the ceiling and I could pay my rent, if I could quit my job, if I could support myself, that would be awesome. That would be a
Yeah.
goal. That like, and to me, that's not like, oh, like, I don't think that's a realistic goal. I don't think that's a I need it goal. But I get if I had all my time and I was able to allocate it into that, maybe it might be. But it's not like to me, it's just like I do it because I love it. I don't do it for the funds. So it's just like if those funds
I
start
don't do
coming
it for
in
the
and
funds.
I can
That's just not
support
my
myself.
need. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
your bar. You just quoted your own bar. You literally just quoted your own bar, dude. Yo. Yo. Oh, that's freaking
That would
sick.
be a bonus, like to me
Yeah.
that's goals. Like is to do what
Yeah.
I'm doing, and maybe I might have to switch up the delivery method, but I just that's all that matters is like to me is like I don't want to worry about next month. Can I pay my bills? Like if my
Yeah.
dog gets sick, do I
Oh,
have the $500 to take her to the vet? Like, is she
yeah.
okay? Like, I don't. There's so much stress. Like, there's so much stress in life that's caused by financial incapability. And I'm not saying I'm financially incapable. I have plenty of money to do like bare minimum, but it's just like I might allocate $100 to go on a date, and then who knows? I might get sick next week and have to go to the doctor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
It's
like
it's never
it's
really
being
about money, but the goal is for it to be about money, for to be able to support myself. But like
to be
most
able
people
to
be like,
be
I want to go play
secure.
shows around the world. I don't really
Yeah.
care if I play shows around the world. I don't like that's not what it's I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but it's just like to me it's a little bit deeper. It's just like I want to be able to financially support myself and be financially capable off of something that I love. That doesn't have to be music. It could be video games. Like I could go win Evo next year and make 25 bands. That would change my whole life. A lot of
Mhm.
like 10 bands, 5 bands would change my life. Like I you know what I mean? There's just so much different context to like what I think I need in my life. It's like if I had a lot of money and a lot of free time, I could allocate that to the things that I think that might get me farther. And I just don't have that time. I don't have that financial freedom right now. I'd love to, but it's just like I've been cooking so much stuff for the past 2 years that I cannot wait to show to people. But it's just like at the same time, like the only issue right now is like I need that money to buy them beats. And then I gotta pay my engineer, and then I gotta mix it, and then I gotta drop it, and all of this costs money. And I'm not saying I'm not making money. I made like at least 1 to 2 racks in the past couple of years just off Apple Music, but that comes slow. But
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
every
and yeah,
single
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cent that
yeah.
I've ever
Yeah.
made from anybody listening to my stuff goes right back into the music. So if you listen to me, I'm buying beats with every single stream you play goes to beats. Every single stream you play goes to engineering. I'm not fucking around. I'm not taking this. I'm not buying liquor. I'm not buying weed. I'm not going to the bar. I'm not taking my girl out to dinner. All that money from everybody supporting me goes right back into it.
It goes back into the
Nowhere else.
craft. Yeah.
Nowhere else. And because beats aren't free,
Mhm.
engineering time ain't free. I have to pay for it somehow. And I've spent so much money out of my own pockets to fund it. And that's what I'm saying is like if it was ever about money, I don't think I would have spent as much money as I spent on doing what I'm doing. I do it because I need to share it because I'm like people want to hear it. It's I if it was for just me at this point in time, like I'm not gonna lie, it's a big part of it is for me, but it's just like like I don't do it just for me. I also try to think outside and think, oh, this is for somebody else. This might help somebody else. But everything goes back into it. I'm never taking a cent from anything that I ever earn off of music and putting it towards my enjoyment or my vacation or my video games or it all goes right back into the music so I can keep producing it and I can keep getting it out to people.
I like that. I really like that. And DNA, brother, this has been an absolute freaking pleasure, my boy. I got one final question, man.
Yes, sir.
If you were to put it down to one artist, who would be your biggest inspiration in music? If you were to say one artist that inspired you the most.
Fuck. All right, all right. Can I break it down in 3 different generations?
Sure.
Can I pick one from each generation of
Sure.
like art?
Absolutely.
Because all right, we're gonna I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna go with Tupac.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Goat.
lie, like why Tupac?
Tupac's the goat.
Changes.
Yeah.
Changes. He said, I wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Like, bro, Pac I didn't even listen to Pac until I was in my 20s and dissect it. Okay. Pac goaded. Now, next generation after Pac, a lot of people probably want to say M. Nope. I love M to an extent. Some of the stuff he was saying is out of pocket. But 50 fucking cent G Unit. M on G Unit, cold. 50 Cent, the game, Tony Yayo, bro. Big, big, big inspiration. Right after 50, Meek Mill. And then
Ah.
Meek Mill, oh man, Meek Mill, I'm a boss. bro, with Rick Ross, Meek Mill, bro. Somebody put me on. I was maybe 16, 17, Meek Mill. And then I know, like, and this is in generational order. So it's like, don't be mad at me, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It's
last but
like
not
this
least,
is not supposed to be like a, oh, this person's better than this person, and oh, why is this
yeah,
person ahead of this
exactly.
person? It's not like that. It's just that's how you like worded it, but it's not like a competition. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
after Meek, for my generation, for my age group, Joey Bad, Joey Badass, man. Honestly, anybody from Pro Era, Joey Badass, Pro Era in general. And then for the generation below, I know this is five, maybe it's five. I can't count. I'm bad at math. But the generation below me, Juice, Juice World, 100%,
Juice put
100%.
heart into his songs, man. He put real life struggles. He put freaking real situations and
What is
freaking
that? That's my five. What, Pac? And then what I go after Pac?
50.
50?
Yep, 50.
50 after Pac?
Then Meek
Meek?
Mill. Yep.
Meek, and then
And then
Joey,
Joey.
and then
Yep.
Juice.
And then Juice. Yeah. Yeah. But
Those
not
are five different generations right there. Five
yeah.
different generations, my top five.
I
That's
love
what
that.
inspired me. That doesn't mean that's my top five rappers of all time.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
If
yeah.
we're talking inspiration,
Oh yeah, when it
I
comes
just
to
want to be clear.
inspiration based off of 5 different generations, that's
What
what's
got
up.
me to get into my own bag and create what I create is those five are like some of the most important. I'm sure if I thought about it more, I might elaborate, but like those five right there, they taught me so much from different styles, like, and it's crazy because they're all drastically different almost, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
That's the
yeah,
beautiful thing
that would be
about
my
music
five.
too. Nothing's the same. Like it's the same thing that we said. Like, oh, why is Tupac, Tupac and M they both rap? No, they don't. They do two very
Yeah,
different
facts,
things. Exactly,
facts.
exactly. So it's like that. That's the thing. It's like why those 5 or why this or why that. It's because they have their genres and their eras are vastly different, and what they were going through and what they were talking about. Even if the era of this artist was a little bit kind of the same as this, they were talking about 2 completely different things, and they were going about it a completely different way. So the way they were talking
Yeah,
about it, the flow that they had, their own inspiration as well. It definitely makes sense. It makes sense. So you said, so if you were to have kind of like a top 5 of inspiration, not in this order, okay? So it's not in
yes
this order,
sir,
but you said Tupac, you said 50, you said Meek Mill, you said Joey Badass, Juice. I love that. I freaking
yes
love that,
sir.
man. 5 different generations. Yo, DNA, can we get a round of applause for DNA, man? Dude, thank you for your time. I appreciate you, my boy. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for
No,
joining the
thank you for
podcast
having
today,
me on,
man.
man.
Episode
I appreciate
13.
everybody for tuning in.
Yo, episode freaking 13, man. Dude, this is season 2, episode 3. Season 2, episode 3, man. My man, thank you so freaking much for your time. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate your enlightenment. I appreciate everything that you talked about, man. You talked about music. You talked about your life. You talked about your struggles. You talked about trauma. You talked about the come up. You talked about why you do this, why you want to do this. You talked about real world struggle, something every day, every person goes through. You talked about being you talked about being
Such a good
real.
host. I
A
love
hundred
it.
percent, man. You talked about I appreciate you, man. No, but you talked about being real. You talked about freaking, oh man, dude, you talked about caring about others, and like looking at something from the wide scale, the wide view, not caring, like looking at something like this, looking at the big picture, looking like putting yourself in other people's shoes and being like, damn, this is something crazy that's happening to them. And, maybe I don't need to give them advice. Maybe they just need to talk to me, you know? We talked about some amazing things, and I appreciate your time. So seriously, brother, thank you so freaking much, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate you,
Yo.
man. No, don't be scared to have me back, man, when you talking about aliens and space. I'm out here.
Hey man, yo, I appreciate you so much, my dog, and yo, I hope you have an incredible rest of your week, incredible rest of your weekend, and an incredible, what you call it, an incredible, freaking. I hope you have a freaking incredible. Oh man, I hope you never look at the way you create, man. I hope you never look at the way you create negatively. All right. I know, like,
Hell no.
another thing that we said as well, like, another thing we said as well is like, we're, our biggest critic, right? But please
Yes, sir.
always look at it positively. Okay. Please always look at it positively and
Have to.
look at the amazing things you've created. Look at the amazing things you've created and look at how much inspiration you have and the inspiration you're putting out there as well
Hey,
for
man.
others.
Must have did
Seriously.
something beautiful because I got good people asking me to talk to me, man. And I appreciate your time and thank you for having me as a guest. And honestly, if you ever just, you ever just need me to pop in, talk about some crazy stuff, I'll be around.
I appreciate that.
No, but I,
Where can
I
people find you, by the
appreciate
way?
you. And not only do I appreciate you, bro, I love you. Thank
Hey
you for
man,
having
I
me
love you
on.
too, man. Where can
Thank you
people
for the
find you?
platform, bro. DNA Strands on everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. On Twitter, I'm DNA Strands TV because I'll be streaming.
You be streaming, yes
Um,
sir.
but yeah,
You be
catch
streaming.
me DNA Strands. You type it in. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find me. I ain't hiding. All major platforms: YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Google Play, Pandora, Deezer, all your satellite radio, Apple Music, Spotify. I'm everywhere. It'd be hard to miss me.
I love that, man. I absolutely freaking love that. Seriously, my man. Thank you for your time. And again, I hope you have a freaking great week, man. Please be easy. Have a great weekend too, man. I hope it really has been a wonderful time talking to you. Seriously. Thank you, brother.
You too, man.
All right, my man.
And remember, next time we talk, make sure them guns aren't too big. I don't know if your camera's gonna be able to handle it.
Hey, yo. No, man. Seriously. Thank you so much. You have an awesome rest of your night. All right, brother?
Yes, sir,
All right,
bro.
man.
Thank you again, and peace out, chat. I appreciate y'all's time. Love
My
y'all.
boy. Peace. Good guy, man. Good freaking guy. Let's get it. Let's get another round of applause, man. Seriously. Let's get another freaking round of applause, man. Good freaking guy. Good freaking guy. Just, man. Yo. Good freaking guy. Genuine soul. Just amazing freaking person with an incredible outlook on life too, man. Yo. Incredible outlook on life and just an amazing way of trying to carry himself. You know what I mean? He's done some amazing things. He's been through some crazy things, man, but nothing has got him down to the point where, he stopped. He kept going. He kept prevailing. He kept achieving, and I'm proud of him, man. It really has been a great time talking to him. Wolfpack, what do you guys think about that, man? I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yes, I will be combining it into one episode, like on Spotify, because of the cutoff, like what happened. You know what I mean? I'll have to, combine it. So I'll take care of that. On YouTube, it's gonna be the two, but on Spotify I'll piece it together. I'll just put the two together. But seriously, DNA, my man, thank you so much. It really was a pleasure. It was an honor. I'm happy to know you, my dude. And I thank you very much for the enlightenment and everything that you told us, man. Everything that we got to kind of peer behind the curtain and see what was cooking, man. So seriously, thank you very much, man. Yo. Seriously, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, bro. Send me the Spotify link when you finish it. I absolutely will do, sir. I will do, sir. Wolfpack, seriously, thank you guys so much for supporting this series. I appreciate you guys very much for supporting this series. Thank you guys for enjoying this series. I look forward to many, many more episodes. And as you guys know, the podcast it's a place where we can talk about things that we're very passionate about, and we can just talk, man. We can talk, we can be real, and we can literally just talk about things in a greater light. So I appreciate you guys very much for enjoying this series, and I'm happy that we get to do it, man. I love you, DNA. I love you, Wolfpack, and I thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Deuces, Wolfpack.